So this is a former DC who says, recently I saw a couple of low bed trucks with chamfans heading northwest. These are things associated with Eastern, Western, and Ashanti regions. My enquiries indicate they are heading for the Black Volta. Are we really safe if it's true?
This is a DC.
A former DC. Al-Haj Suleiman again says, I think our courts have a share of the blame. See how they are frustrating the OSP in its attempt to prosecute Charles Bisu. A judge gave a restraining order against the arrest and investigation of Bisu, and has since then, in violation of the 7-day window, not giving any reason for his ruling. I am proposing that the OSP should set up a special unit on galamsey and let all Ghanaians rally behind Kissie Jabeng in this fight. I have lost hope in all other institutions except the OSP. As an ecologist, I know at this pace we are headed for an ecological catastrophe. God save us. Mr. Redu says, if our security service cannot deal with this galamsey problem, how safe can Ghanaians be when terrorists invade our country? Having in mind the appeal to the U.S. government on some settlement in Burkina Faso. Edudzi.
Yep.
It's important that we are together collaborating, whether we are in opposition or we are in government, is it not?
I think that should be the ideal thing.
Yeah, so to have the President Mahama make those unfortunate comments and some of your party people also go down there and make those comments, now they feel we lost some seats because of this. So they don't want to have the kind of parliament we now have, which is difficult for them to have things. So they may also have the incentive to reduce their momentum on fighting it.
First of all, President John Dramani Mahama has never made any unfortunate comment.
He spoke about releasing people,
No,
giving a moratorium.
he provided the context. And he says that, listen, you have a government that decides to protect the powerful and decides to punish those downtrodden people, those young people who have been put before the prisons. How many of them have the capacity to import cyanide into this country? How many of them have the capacity to bring those machines, excavators? I mean, look at the cost of one excavator. Then you go and put a poor young man there when you know that there are faces behind this illegality. I mean, so it was within that context. Two, in this country, and today, the Akufo-Addo administration is engaged in what they claim is community mining. That community mining is another form of, galamsey. Except that he and his cronies have monopolized this whole mining business. And that is what it is. So the statement by H.E. John Dramani Mahama cannot be unfortunate. But you see, if a man places his presidency on the line, the expectation is that, look, he's going to demonstrate firm commitment to it. The verdict out there is that Mr. Akufo-Addo has failed as far as the fight against galamsey is concerned. And you see, even what is even more problematic, shameful, is this whole business of trying to whitewash the person who had provided the lead in this whole fight, the person of Professor Frimpong Boateng. I mean, the Attorney General is...
whitewashed.
Who?
You say he's being whitewashed?
No. I mean, he is rather, you are whitewashing the effect of the problem and rather blaming the respected heart surgeon. Look at the case of Professor Frimpong Boateng and the 36-page report that he provided all of us. If you read the Attorney General's response to that letter, invariably it's like to tell us that all the pictures that we have seen of the destruction are things that were imported from Azerbaijan. Those pictures were taken from Azerbaijan. It's like it's not happening here in Ghana. You invite law enforcement officers, and the principal law enforcement officer, the Attorney General, is telling us that, look, I have not found the nature of evidence requiring prosecution. Is the AG telling us that the CID, who did the investigation, have done a poor job? As we speak, your own Erastus Asaridonko, was he ever invited by the police to give them further information relative to the information that he has put out? None. Look, there's
in fact, Erastus, in the course of all of these things, actually got threatened by Kenneth Japon, who asked that if he had the opportunity, he will whip him up. And we took a report to the police.
Absolutely nothing.
They said we were going to do something. They have done zero in almost 1 year.
And this one, Nana Kumia says, let's share responsibility. It cannot be. It is the lack of commitment. And you see, there's an MPP professor.
Commitment by the police.
Please. There's an MPP professor, Professor Kwam. He was specifically named by Professor Frimpong Boati. This is a man appointed by President Akufo-Addo on the Minerals Commission. It turned out that he sold a concession to an MPP appointee of President Akufo-Addo in the person of Kwabena Senchire. Kwabena Senchire reported him to the OSP and the CID about this illegality. The Attorney General says he's not aware of these events. In fact, Kwabena Senchire actually granted an interview to Sompa FM. I'll give you the video. And he narrates everything with this Professor Kwam, an appointee of Mr. Akufo-Addo. And if all of these things are put together, and the devastating effect being the fact that today, our mothers are giving birth to children without proper development of vital organs of them. You say the president, it is not fair to say he had not demonstrated commitment to this fight. Nana, we cannot downplay this effect. Because
Professor Kwam has been on this platform and denied these things.
Look, in fact, and
denied the allegations.
Look, and let me tell you, Kwabena Senchire in the 8-minute video said that he even recorded him because he actually trapped him until he came to Rantre Park. What Professor Kwam didn't know was that he was recording him. Something, I'll give you the audio and the video so you can play it.
When somebody was also recorded, one DCE was recorded about how they could benefit from this galamsey thing, and he was caught. He was disciplined. He lost his job.
And
right?
I'm saying that in this case, Professor Kwam was appointed to the Minerals Commission by the president himself. With this, and this allegation is not coming from an NDC person.
So,
this is
so
another.
You're saying what? You're saying that when the man denies these allegations and Professor Frimpong Boati's report is placed before the Attorney General for examination,
sure.
He should not stop there.
No.
He should do further work.
And you see, the Professor
He says the police did their investigations and the investigation also revealed nothing.
No, but how can the police say they investigated this matter without even calling your own colleague Erastus?
So do you blame the police or the Attorney General?
Both. Because in the Cecilia Dapa matter, when the Attorney General, upon review, found that there were loopholes, the Attorney General recommended further investigation. If the AG was minded that in fairness, pursuant to his powers under Article 88, mindful of getting people prosecuted, he would have asked for further investigation. But the AG took the police report, whatever it is, and now decided to say that, look, from Bombati, you never provided us anything.
On the matter of the excavators, where the AG saw that there was some
the journalist
that can be used for prosecution, he recommended that should go on.
No, but you see, in the case of Setmante, when did this happen? 2019. The AG today is recommending that the young man should be prosecuted. After how many years? The inaction is so obvious. And the point that I'm making is that, look, if you pick government totality, their commitment toward this fight against galamsey, it is nothing, it is shambolic. And persons like Professor...
They are telling you, we have witnessed the heaviest number of prosecutions in this fight so far. Can't you, at a point, be candid about something that truth be told, this is the one time that the galamsey fight has been elevated to a point where we all can physically, as it were, testify. Except that, like I keep saying, whilst it has been heightened the most,
what's the nature of the
devastation is worse.
What's the nature of the testimony? That the president did not, in front of clergymen, after his own Minerals Commission had made adverse findings against Akonta Mining, for him to clear. Now, when the Minerals Commission, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, makes adverse findings, and then the president meets clergymen in Koforidua, and I'll tell them that, as far as I'm concerned, this man has not done anything wrong. The net effect is that the president is communicating to his appointees that, look, how come that you said the man has done something?
How about the national
consistent with the president's dubious distinction as a clearing agent? And so you cannot take those matters away from where things are. And if you talk about testimony, the environment, the pictures that you are even showing is the testimony. How is this the evidence of a man who had demonstrated or said that I want to put my presidency on the line?
You are a lawyer. You are a very good one at that.
Absolutely.
You are head of your legal team at the NDC. When you see pictures like this and you are going to have to mount prosecution, what is the use of the pictures to a prosecution that you must have evidence that lead conclusively and leaves not a scintilla of a doubt? That's criminal prosecution. You must prove beyond all reasonable doubt that this gulf here was caused by a Simesi. Otherwise, you're wasting your time.
You see, you are right on the principle. What you have not tried to distinct, the distinction is clear, is that, you see, if I make a call right now to you that this is a murder scene, and as an investigator you come, you see a dead body, you see blooded knife and others, what it does is that it provides you a lead to look for the person. But you cannot tell me upon visiting the murder scene and say, no, when I came, I didn't see anybody, so no crime was committed.
So who do you indict? Because they say the police did an investigation, and the investigation reveals nothing.
Why are you trying to take the AG out of this conversation? You cannot blame the police and leave the attorney general. Because I've given you a scenario when the police didn't do a good job. Hold on. When the police didn't do a good job.
You have stated that.
The AG had the benefit of saying, go further into this matter.
You are right about that.
Because I want to achieve conviction.
You are right about that.